Now, one of the ways to do that, and this is the conversation I wanted to lead into, has to do with actually taking hold of your own attention, paying attention. Okay, and we're about to see a clip in a couple of minutes, but paying attention. So in Hebrew, the word for paying attention is sim lev, the placing of the heart. Isn't that a beautiful word? To pay attention is to place your heart. Now, where we are now, and stay close. Let's go like close phrase by phrase here, because we're about to go into a clip, and I'm going to ask everyone to actually pay attention, meaning place your heart. Take responsibility for your own arousal, right? In other words, even just now, don't rely on me, or James, or Mickey, or Shahad, or Claire, or Keke, or anyone, right? In other words, this is not a performative week. We're meditating. This is all one meditation together. We're meditating. So actually take responsibility for your own arousal and place your heart. Literally. Like, you know, when you never do yoga, I have a dear friend, John Friend. His name is John Friend. He's on our board. He started something called Anusara Yoga, and he's one of the most brilliant yogis in the world, and he always tells me weird things like, roll your back down. John, what the fuck does that mean, to roll your back down, right? Right, so I don't know what that means. Yoga's very strange. Who does yoga here? Who does yoga? Yoga's crazy, guys, just between us, right? You shouldn't do yoga, right? Downward facing dog. You think that's a natural position? I mean, really. I mean, it might be, but not for yoga. But anyways, okay? So let me just give you a simple, I've shared with this before, but you guys have to know this. If you're new, this is important. There's a much easier way of doing yoga, and then we'll get on with our issue. Just put your left hand out. Just left hand, it's easy. You just skip downward facing dog, rolling right. Thumb up, thumb up, thumb up. This is Jewish yoga. This got us through the exile. Okay, ready? Yo, that's it. Like you gotta look wise. Try it again. Yeah. Then you get the other hand out like this. Okay. Yeah. One more time. Yeah. One more time. Yeah. That's it. You're done. Right. Like why do downward facing dog or roll your back down? Right. That's strange. Okay. So what were we talking about? Where were we? No, but that's too broad. Specifically. Placing your heart. No, what was after that? You got to pay attention. What was the last thread? For your arousal afterwards? No, right before that. Go ahead. No, there was placing of the heart. Okay, let's go there. So placing of the heart. Say it again. Okay, so we're gonna thank you, Shahati, right? By the way, if anything goes wrong, Shahati. It's simple, straight. We don't even think about it. Shot, right? Okay, awesome. Ready? So place your heart, right? So it's like John's talking about, right? John Friend rolling, right, your back down, but you actually begin to in yoga. You can actually feel the body. Yoga is beautiful and gorgeous, and a gorgeous exercise of actually feeling the body. So you feel your heart. You actually place your heart. You place your attention. Now notice that part of the death of our humanity is that we're living in an attention economy. Let's just close our eyes and just feel into it as a meditation. We're living in an attention economy in which you are not the end user, you are not even the product. The ability to influence your decision is the product. The ability to influence your decision is organized by collecting all of your data, but your data is not which pornography site you searched. Different conversation, different week, different year. But the conversation is how long your mouse hovered before you clicked and what the order of your typing is. In other words, every detail of what are called digital breadcrumbs are subject to what's called in the literature of MIT, the MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology Media Lab, is called reality mining. 2004 major article by Alex Pentland. Reality mining, all of your digital breadcrumbs are collected in order to create the actual product of the techplex, which is prediction. Near utopia of certain prediction, and that prediction is sold to third parties who are misaligned with your interest in a constant algorithmically generated auction. Wow. in order to collect more breadcrumbs, we have to hold your attention for more time. Your attention is held by arousing the reptilian brain. And the reptilian brain is aroused by negative emotions, jealousy, anger. One of the deployed methods of certain sites, mainstream sites, algorithmically generated through micro-targeting. No one made the decision. In other words, it's actually algorithmically generated through its own inherent principles, which are the opposite of first principles of value. So several major sites have algorithmically micro-targeted pictures of one's former spouse smiling, because that generates an amygdala hit of anger. That's wild. Now exponentialize that across your personalized web experience, which is designed to generate polarization, forms of amygdala hijacking. In other words, your attention needs to be hijacked, because if we can hijack your attention for several more milliseconds, and we then exponentialize that, we then algorithmically, right, collect more data. And when we collect more of that kind of reality mind digital breadcrumbs, we then up the predictive certainty, and the predictive certainty is the product that we're selling. Did everyone get that? Everyone get that? Follow that riff? That's wild. That's completely wild, which means we have an attention economy generated not by the government, but by the private sector, based on collecting digital breadcrumbs, creating a micro-targeted personality profile, which has the capacity, right, to literally undermine your free will. I didn't say that, Daniel Kahneman did, who won a Nobel Prize on it, and made a distinction between fast and slow thinking. And 96% of our thinking and decisions are made in fast thinking mode, which is completely subject to undue influence through not a tool that you get to choose whether to use. So people often say to me, oh, technology is just a tool, you can choose whether to use it. John said that. Not true. Technology today is not a tool. Technology today is an immersive environment. Those are two completely different things. And that which generates the immersive environment is not the loom, is not a Luddite issue. It's not whether should I use the loom, a new technology or not, a new technology of spinning, right, textiling. No, actually the technology is your iPhone, which has become an extension of yourself, and it's the primary means of communication. And according to Metcalfe's law, which is the law which says that once there's a network, it creates a network effect, and then not to participate actually disadvantages you, right, in your win-lose metrics and makes you feel isolated and alienated, which is why everyone here uses their iPhone. Wow. That's the death of our humanity. When you exponentialize that into a metaverse, right, so Facebook realized the world didn't like Facebook. Facebook decided it didn't like the world. So let's create a metaverse. That was its response, generated over the last decade. And the metaverse means, I want you to get what it means. The metaverse is a virtual reality world in which people spend an enormous amount of time. What the metaverse means is that every single action you take, right, in the metaverse is a commodified property. Commodified means it's subject to commerce. Every move you make, right, is completely downloaded into an algorithmic intelligence which is exponentially more powerful than the deep blue algorithms that defeated 𝗏𝗏 Kasparov in the famous deep blue match. In other words, when the new algorithmic structures, right, did battle with the old algorithmic structures which defeated Kasparov, they wiped them out. So you have a complete radical asymmetry of power. Does everyone get that? This is asymmetrical power, right, happening in the space in which you've got an entire, right, you've got the algorithmic possibility micro-targeted, right, against your free will, undermining your attention, right, of, right, an algorithmic force, right, that defeated the most powerful force that defeated the best chess master. And you're not aggregated, right? You're not part of a larger system. You're not part of a larger network that's actually responding to that. You're just going about your life doing what Daniel Kahneman, who won the Nobel Prize for it, called your fast thinking. It's like, wow. So that's the stealing of attention. The response is, and there's multiple responses. We need a new Digital Information Act. We need legislation in terms of social structure, absolutely. And we're not going to talk about that now. But the beginning of a superstructure response for the individual in the immediate here and now is to actually take your attention back. Seduce yourself. Take responsibility for your own arousal, and then liberate your attention. Shut your iPhone for a couple of hours a day and see what happens. Can you actually live and place your attention and place your heart and step into the inside of reality? And so our meditation today, and this whole week, when we live the dream, is not to become Luddites. Luddites are a group of people who said we're against technology. We think technology is beautiful, but we need to invest technology with evolutionary love. We need to move from techno-feudalism to techno-humanism, and we need to begin to train our attention. That's what meditation is. Meditation is a training of your attention, a placing of your heart, so you can actually trace the amygdalanian movements. So we're going to see a clip in a second, which is going to introduce us, right, to prayer. It's going to be our first clip. So when I talked to my friend, who I mentioned a few minutes ago, I said I was going to mention his name, and we'll edit it out of the actual recording, right? When I talked to Tristan Harris, right, who made this movie, The Social Dilemma, he's a beautiful young man. And Tristan got this notion that attention is being hijacked. But actually, what's missing is, why is that a problem? Right? And that's what the social dilemma never tells you is, why is that a problem? Which is why the social dilemma was dismissed, right, by so many people. And I talked to my friend John Mack, he said, social dilemma, that whole premise was wrong. These people are just doing commerce. They're just doing capitalism. Business as usual. No. But in order to actually articulate the violation, I've got to actually begin to realize, and that's going to be part of our conversation tomorrow, that attention itself is a first principle and first value of cosmos. And that attention and attention spaces, from all the way down the evolutionary chain to all the way up the evolutionary chain, are values and principles of cosmos, and the evolution of attention is actually the story of evolution itself. My capacity to place attention, and the capacity to place attention moves from the world of matter, because there are attention spaces in the world of matter, in the subatomic world, to the world of early cells, and then the world of plants, and then amphibians, and right, then early mammals, early animals, and later animals, and early mammals, right, all the way up to the human being, and then all the way through the cultural levels of the human being, and then within my own particular and personal life, right, my capacity to place attention is actually how I enter into the inward space where I can actually create meaning that already resides in me. I can disclose it and form it. But I have to be able to place attention. And when my attention's hijacked, so virtually all my decisions are made in fast thinking and are all subject to undue influence, determined by peer group split testing, and the death of our humanity as we enter the metaverse in which every single movement is commodified. Everyone know what the word commodified means? It's made into a commodity. So wow.